City of Alva Tourism Tax Committee to order. The item is going to be discussion action on the minutes from the September 15th, 2021 meeting.
I move we approve the minutes from September 15th.
Second.
So a motion and a second.
Melinda? Aye. Terry?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye. So the next is discussion action of the September financial report, and that brings me to a question, because on these minutes we just approved, we tabled August and July.
I think it was because Angelica was having surgery or
Oh,
something,
that's right.
and like they weren't available for us.
So we forgot okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. I thought she's gonna be here tonight too, so.
So I would bring me to a Marion question. Can we actually approve September without approving July and August?
I don't think so.
Do you think we could? Okay.
Since
All
it's
right.
on the agenda.
So sometime we're gonna have to pick those up.
Yeah, I'll get with her about that.
And she probably doesn't even realize that they haven't been approved either, because she wasn't here, so that's, you know.
Good job, Norval. Thank you for keeping me in line. I need that sometimes.
Okay. All right, so tell us about September.
Okay, well, I didn't make the September one. I based it off the October one on my report, but you still want me to give the October?
I think that's fine to go ahead and
Okay.
give the October, then we'll go back and pick up with
Okay. I don't think I did a very good job on making this time around, because a lot of the ones have already been paid out, like the Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise. That one was paid out. The Lights Over Alva was paid out. So those were the main ones I forgot to take off, so ignore that part. Because you can tell on the page of, on page number 4. But anyways, so starting off we have $631,187.26, $150,000 for the Alva Arena Authority, $1,422.12 to the Big Cruise and Car Show, which we just turned in the last payment for that. Today Norval's going to sign that.
So there's going to be more on that one?
It was just $600.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Okay.
And then $4,500 for the Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise. We paid that one out. And then $10,400 for the Alva High School Northwestern Shootout. $14,100 to the Alva Chamber of Commerce Tourism Promotion and Marketing Projects. $5,100 to the Lights Over Alva. $6,500 to the Northwest Mural Fest, and Norval is going to sign that one tonight. $9,000 to the Alva Chamber of Commerce Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center. $15,000 to the 2021 Northwestern Rodeo, which Norval's signing that one too. $500 for future, $2,500 for standing, which leaves us with $412,165.14. So things are getting paid. And
The Lights Over Alva, you said it's already been paid?
Yes.
And it was $5,100?
yes, it was.
Okay.
And then how much was the mural fest one? I think it was like 47.
4887.
Yeah.
Always nice.
And then the full amount for the rodeo. And then next month will be the high school's shootout. So that's, sorry I did not do very good on that, this one. I did not mark it out like I thought I did, so.
So first will be to approve the financials that are dated 9/30.
Can you refresh my memory why we didn't approve August and July?
I know that Angelica was out in July, and I think the August just did not,
Just didn't make it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
yeah, because it's, I don't think it's even in
Okay.
there. Yeah, it's not even in the
All right.
packet.
And then I move we approve the financial statement for September.
I'll second.
We have a motion to approve.
Charles?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye. And next will be to approve the action on the October financial report.
I move that we approve the October financial report.
Second.
Terry?
Aye.
Charles?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye. And we can't approve these because they're not on the agenda. Don't remember seeing them before either. I noticed because some of the pages are printed upside down. And I think I would have remembered that. But July and August are in our book in September. So they're in my book anyway.
Is it the, no,
I have reports dated 7/31 and 8/31.
Yeah.
oh, what did, was it because we had questions? That's what it was. Because that, yes, that's, okay, now I remember. So we had him in the September meeting, and she was, yeah, because we thought, yeah, because she's gonna come to this meeting, and, yeah.
So she's still coming to the meeting?
No, I don't think so. I haven't even talked to her.
I don't think so. I talked to her
Yeah.
last week. She said she wasn't
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Not over this, but just.
Yeah.
So we will need need you to review your notes
I
and
will.
see why we didn't approve
Yeah.
them,
Yeah,
and have them on the next agenda.
will do.
All right. Next is discussion and action on the Alva Bowl battle. Not to exceed 37,062.
Good evening. Justin Dowdy with the Western Sports Committee, coming in for another year of bull riding. Be Alva Bull Battle 6. We've got some big changes. Well, I think of them as big changes. Our youth event, or our youth involvement for this event is growing. We're going to spread it out over the 2 days of our event instead of just the one, which will bring in far more contestants, kid-wise, and their parents. I think we had around 40 to 45 kids entered last year for a one-day performance, and my mini bull contact guy, he thinks that we'd be able to bump those numbers to 60 to 75 kids with it being a 2-day. And the way their association runs things, it'll be 2 separate events for them instead of one event, if that makes sense. So it'd be double the points and double the money for those kids to be able to earn, and really helps with their season.
Say how old the kids were.
The ages will range from 3 to 19. Last year, I think it was cut off at 15, the age group. They didn't have the older age group. They didn't have the bulls for it. So this year, we'll be adding in that older age group as well. So it'll be actually 5 age groups. They're actually probably my favorite part of the whole thing. A couple other changes that we've decided to do is our calf fry. We've decided to make this in conjunction and part of the bull riding. It's kind of struggled on its own, so we figure maybe adding it in and making it a part of Alva Bull Battle on that Saturday afternoon might help it. So, in doing so, adding into our 4th performance and our calf fry are just a couple of examples of our budget increase, as well as kind of COVID is a little bit to blame on the industry side of things. People are trying to just kind of make up for what they lost over the last year and a half. Our buck and shoots in our arena, the cost to lease it has jumped to $1,500. We have done a little bit of shopping around, and closest I can find is a guy in Ohio, and I think the trucking is going to be, it's going to bite us to get that one down here, versus we'll save a lot of money just sticking with the guy that we normally use, because he's only in Attica, Kansas. So, but which all goes into why our request this year is higher than last year. We have, of course, added in the calf fry deal, but we're also going to try our hand at an in-house beer sales to try to help our revenue, to give us a little bit more ground covered at the end for next year, hopefully.
So, your request is over a 20% increase, and you have one large line item, the contract labor. Do you have a breakout on the contract bill?
Yes. Not with me currently. I think in that email, on that attachment, there was a second page to the actual spreadsheet. I think I had it in there.
Okay.
But yes, I do have a breakdown. I think I gave you one last year, and I do have one again this year. I think it's on there anyways, that I sent her. It'll show everybody by name what they do and what they cost.
Does that include the stock or the bulls? Is that part of that?
Yes,
All in one?
yes.
So making it 2 days, how much did that increase this year? Is that where the 7,000 comes from?
This is
20,000 last year?
This has been a 2-day event since 2019. So we didn't have our show in 20, so this will actually be our third year as a 2-day event.
But it does seem like you keep adding more things to it, so.
Yes, it has its ways of growing. Our biggest thing of adding in would be our youth involvement. We're trying to grow that and make it a little bit bigger deal. I think, to me, the youth is what keeps any sport alive. Their involvement, bettering their competition side, giving them more opportunities is only going to help them later down the road. The kids we watch that are competing 4 or 5 years old, getting on the little walk trot bulls that just walk around, in 15 years, they'll be in the big bull riding,
Jody has the contract breakout on her phone if anybody wants to see it.
Well,
So the actual bulls are included?
Yes.
Like they are?
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yes, I have them listed. I think I have each contractor listed.
Yeah, you do, you have a really nice breakout there.
Okay.
Like every week. Always. No, you're fine. It's my fault. I'm from that.
The one thing about our contract labor, being that it is only November and the event's not until April, it is subject to change. We have had instances where we've had somebody cancel on us that are unable to make it. Typically, if that does happen, we won't go and find somebody that's going to be more expensive. We'll go the other direction with it. So we will try to save as much as we can, Doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen.
I'm sure I asked this the last time you were here, but your entry guys who enter, do they like the fact that there's 2 rounds? Do they enter both rounds?
Yes, every bull rider that enters will be here for both days. Yes, they like the money that's added. There's not very many shows around that's got $10,000 added in prize money. I know when I was still riding bulls, I would drive 15 hours to go to a $10,000 bull riding. So we gather guys from all over, Canada, Brazil. The guy that won it this last year was actually Brazilian. Every surrounding state of Oklahoma, Arizona, I believe we've gotten a few from there, in Nebraska. They come everywhere for the show, and everybody's been really pleased. And to hit on that just a little bit more, having this kind of money added there for them, we're not just attracting the run-of-the-mill bull rider, I guess in my saying. It's not just anybody. We are attracting guys that do go to the PBRs and the bigger elite series. We've had past NFR qualifiers and PBR World Final qualifiers at this event. We do attract that professional quality.
So is there like people from the college that will, from our rodeo team here that will do this?
I am not sure that there are any bull riders with Northwestern. I know in the past few years I don't think there has been. I haven't followed closely enough to know.
And your sponsorship money, that's just estimated, you probably don't, do you have all that already?
That is what we, I think it was like
What you got last year,
19,900 is
so
what,
you're
yes.
Okay.
And I do have room in here for us to go out and gather more. I always leave more room for me to kind of go push myself to get more than that. I'm not just going to settle for that, so.
What year did you start this?
2007.
You were just a kid.
Yeah, my senior year of high school. And I bet you I'm just as nervous up here this evening as I was back then too.
I like your video screen idea for the future. I think that would be good too.
I think it's a great event, and, you know, my only concern is you guys keep growing it, and all of a sudden you're gonna take half of what we collect in a year.
In a year, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's one of the more expensive things that
Yeah.
we do here. And that's why I was calling you out to justify a 20%
Yeah.
increase in what it is.
Yes, sir. And I mean, I would say, I mean, like I said, a lot of that contract labor, some of those guys are just trying to make up for the last year and a half. If that's something they come back down on, you know, next year or something after they've recouped a little bit, that could be something too. And of course that arena and the back pins, you know, if we find something between now and then that's cheaper, we'll definitely go that route, you know.
I really don't look for anything to get cheaper in the future.
Well, in hopes, you know.
I do not see that happening. With
Yeah.
anybody, with
Not in the very near
anything.
future.
And on our contract labor, I do go back and forth with my committee a little bit over some of those guys that we've been hiring, but you know, I've been using these guys pretty much the same crew for quite some time now, and the one thing I've always really liked about this show compared to, you know, some other bull ridings I go to throughout the year, the quality and the entertainment side of it. The biggest thing about rodeo these days is it's, you know, everybody's seen a rodeo, everybody's seen a bull riding, but they like to use the term showdeo. It's more of a entertainment outlook on things. It's a show, not just a rodeo anymore. So those guys that I have hired, like Drew Taylor, he's just a sound tech, you know, it looks like he just punches a couple buttons on his computer and plays music for a couple hours. He costs a little bit of money, but he's also year after year selected top 5 sound man of the year in the PRCA. I put him up against the best in the business. And our funny man, the guy out there telling the jokes, you know, he was the alternate barrel man last year's NFR, or 19's NFR. He's also another one of those that's selected year after year for Funny Man of the Year, Act of the Year the last 2 years with his trampoline act. That's the one thing I kind of like to pride myself on with this show, is that the quality is there. And in order to get the quality, it takes a little bit more pocket change. I don't know, from a producer's side of, I've seen what happens to shows when they go backwards, trying to save a little bit of money, and it can hurt. It takes these shows several years to bounce back.
So how do you intend to advertise the show?
Our biggest advertising is Facebook and radio, and of course the newsgram here. We know that newsgram reaches out to a lot of people, but we also put up upwards of 250 posters between here and Oklahoma City and Wichita. They reach, but Facebook is our biggest advertising port, word of mouth. I know a lot of my friends hate me when it comes to bull riding time because I'm constantly blowing up their Facebook every time I'm tagging them in a post. So, but that's our biggest way of getting it out there. And we've just recently started using the Ben Buckland's digital board, which helps a lot. Traffic going up down the road.
No further questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve or approve for a different amount or whatever the board would like to do.
I was looking at the numbers, and, I know you have to have a little bit left over to do it again, but I came up with, we gave you $30,601 last year, and you requested $37,062 this year. And I thought I would split the difference, and that would leave a little more money for somebody else later on, which would come, the difference between those two, and then divide that in half, would be $33,831. Does that make sense? So, I think it's a great event, and I think that you continue to improve it every year. You do everything we ask as a tourism board, and I appreciate that. Instead of just coming back and saying, hey, can I have this much money, and I didn't do anything else, and also we're not going to do something else. I think you do, you go over and above. So I move to, do you guys understand where I got that number from?
Exactly.
Okay. I move that we approve $33,831.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Close that.
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Charles? Terry?
Aye.
Norm?
Aye. All right, man.
All right.
Go do it good.
Thank you. Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you for all your hard work on
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. The next item we won't be doing, we don't have any city attorney or city manager to go into executive session with. Apparently nothing bad, since they haven't come and tell us we need to go to executive session. So we
Good day.
skip several items here. We go to remarks by Tourism Tax Committee. Does anybody have anything to bring up? Any new stuff? The fourth quarter was a pretty good improvement, and that's awesome. And
People are trying to travel again and feel comfortable.
feel comfortable, and
Yeah, thank goodness.
and there was some, the car show and all that was in there, so that's the big event. So yeah.
Yeah, the car shows.
It's amazing.
So if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. I actually don't have to have a motion, I can just adjourn. I've learned.
That's
So we're adjourned.